Good evening, one and all, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing the movie Her by Spike Jonze. Don't have a poster to show you guys because I haven't got it on DVD yet, I just rented it. But it is a really great film. In the hands of another director, like if Spike Jonze had not done it, it might have seemed very cheesy and kind of oddball. But what Spike Jonze does amazingly well is bringing oddball stories to life. As you may know, if you saw like Being John Malkovich or Where the Wild Things Are, both stories are kind of unusual, but they work really well. So, and Her is no exception. Her is a very simple story. It's about this man named Theodore Twombly, played by Joaquin Phoenix, and he falls in love with his female operating system, voiced by Scarlett Johansson. And part of the reason this film works so well is because of Scarlett Johansson's voice. I mean, you never see her body in the film. She's just an operating system, like a voice on a little, it looks like a little mini kind of, you know, iPad or whatever, with a little camera on it. And that's all she is this voice that comes out of this device. But any of you who know Scarlett Johansson from other films, you know that she has a very seductive, kind of husky quality to her voice. And her voice is just so rich and warm, and she has like this insatiable curiosity about the world. And she's very witty, intelligent, funny, and in many ways comes to understand Theodore better than any of the human characters do. So that's part of what makes it so great. And also Joaquin Phoenix's performance as Theodore. It's the best performance of his career, in my opinion. He's a very sensitive soul in the movie, you know. He's kind of nerdy looking with his glasses and his little mustache. All the men kind of look nerdy, though. They all wear like high-waisted pants. And the fashion of the future is not the greatest, I'll say that. But you know, he's sensitive, he's easily hurt, he's very poetic. He works in an office where he basically writes love letters for money for couples that want to pay someone to be sentimental for them. So, and you see that before he met Scarlett Johansson, or Samantha as she comes to be known, he had a former wife played by Rooney Mara, who, you know, she's good in the movie. She only appears in the movie briefly, but I really don't like her character much, but she's really not that likable. She has a very bitchy side to her, a lot of insecurity. The other awesome female character in this is Theodore's best friend, who is played by Amy Adams. And other than Samantha, who is his operating system, she understands him better than anyone in the film. He's not a man who has many friends, Theodore. He's very lonely. So she really is his best friend and his emotional anchor, you know, when he's going through rough times, and he's the same for her. So this movie is set a little bit in the future, but it's not grandiose. Like, it's a very simply done film. It's basically Los Angeles with a few just subtle CG enhancements to it to make it look a little more futuristic. You don't see a hell of a lot of technology in this, but one technology that's reinforced throughout the film is the commercialism of the world that Theodore lives in. Like, it just surrounds him on everywhere he goes, and the commercials refer to him by name and all that. Because, you know, everything is, computers are integrated into everything in this world, which is the way it will be in the future. So, but other than that, it's very subtle. It's not, you know, a big budget Hollywood blockbuster by any means. It's told very simply. The musical score in this, as with all of Spike Jonze films, is very nostalgic, very soft, you know, lots of kind of folksy ballads and, you know, studio kind of ballads, and just people playing on guitar with voiceover. So no, there's not a really big, you know, epic score in this either. It's told very simply, and but the music in it is quite beautiful. And cinematography in the film is really good. There's a lot of close-ups in the film. It's very intimate. It's very much from Theodore's perspective, the film. And even though Samantha does not have a physical presence in the film, what I thought was cool is that whenever Theodore is with Samantha talking to her, you just get the sense that she's there, just the way it's framed. You know, it'll show, like, for example, it'll show Theodore lying on the bed with his face turned towards the camera. And even though you can't see her, you just get the impression that Samantha is laying in the bed with him on the other side. And also, like, in other frames, it'll just be Theodore standing on one side. Like, and then this empty space, but you can kind of envision Samantha standing there next to him. And that's really the most amazing thing about the film, is you just really believe this romance between Theodore and Samantha. They go through all the ups and downs that any couple would go through. They even have sex. I'm not going to explain exactly how, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, but it's pretty intense. I found it to be more sensual than a lot of sex scenes where it's actually two people, right? So that scene was actually my favorite in the whole film, the scene where they have sex the first time. Believe me, it works. Even though you may think, well, how can they? Well, use your imagination. I mean, there's many ways people can physically interact without actually touching each other, especially, you know, with computers and all that, so. The relationship continues to develop throughout the film. They have a major argument at one point and they even break up for a little while. There's one kind of awkward scene in the film where Samantha, the operating system, tries to get Theodore to engage in this three-way with another chick by speaking basically through her. You know, she doesn't move her lips, but it's like Samantha is speaking through her and using her body to have sex with Theodore, basically. And, you know, that scene is very awkward and doesn't really end too well, let's just say that. Other than that, the film is excellent. I mean, well, that scene's good too, but like I said, it's a little awkward. So it is a good scene, but, you know, and there's some moments of kind of nostalgia in the film too, and a little bit of, how would I put it? Overly sentimental kind of lines in the film. But it's only here and there, you know. The film is overall a masterpiece. It has so much to say about love in the digital age. It also has a lot to say about what is love, like, and kind of this idea that love is beyond physical form, that it has more to do with the spirit, and that's what you fall in love with. And you really get that sense in the film that Theodore truly falls in love with Samantha's spirit. And you really do, like, at least I really felt her spirit very powerfully in the film, so. It's just a beautiful little film, you know. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a more offbeat kind of romantic film. There's even some humor in it, you know, not much, but a little. But it's a very emotional film, it's very touching. And it's my favorite romance of the year. So, Spike Jonze, Her. I'm not sure what else to say about it. It's, you know, it's not a big, grandiose Hollywood epic, like I said before. It really tries to do something unique and original. And, you know, with all the other big Hollywood blockbusters coming out, this is just a really quiet, kind of emotional, and special little movie. So, I highly recommend it. And my next review will probably be on Wolf of Wall Street. So have a good night, y'all. As for the person that wanted me to review Transformers, the new one, sorry, but that's not my cup of tea. It got really bad reviews, so I'm not interested in seeing it. But I'm going to be reviewing Wolf of Wall Street next, and keep giving me comments in the comments box of any movies you'd like me to review next. Okay? Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.